All right, we are back with our oh no game for our weekly Game Jam 106. So this is pretty much the day before the submission, and I'd already submitted it. As you saw in the last video, I had the game, and I'd already submitted it, so that way I had something done and something submitted. But I did ask for feedback because we were in the feedback stage, and I had today to make any adjustments I wanted to make. So I was able to make a few adjustments thanks to some of the feedback, and I was honestly surprised to get as much feedback as I did. But let's go over the changes I made. So the first big change I made, which should be obvious just right here, is the mute button. Someone said the audio was a little bit loud. I did want to, or I considered making a options menu where you could adjust how loud the volume was. But I didn't really want to spend a lot of time tweaking that and working on that, so I just added a mute button so you can mute the sound. So you can still play the game, and that way the sound isn't too loud if it's too loud. So that is the first change I made. I could have tweaked it a little. I could have tweaked the sound a little bit more and had an options menu, but I wanted to get these changes in before the end of the jam. So probably in the future I might watch a tutorial on how to do that. But yeah. The second thing is, as you can see, the ball is now up here, and that is because the camera angle has been changed. It's closer to the ball and kind of at an angle, so that way you can actually see where the ball is falling. So you can see under the ball. I am not waking up at 7:30. So you can actually see under the ball where it's falling. Another change I made was the fog down below. This was a great suggestion by someone, so that way you're not just falling into the empty void, and you actually don't see that the stage is loading so obviously. So it's a very, very subtle but very nice touch that makes a world of difference when you're looking down at what you're falling towards. Now, hopefully the fog makes it look much better, and this should also... I'm just going to let it fall. This should also show that you can see under the ball. So you can also see under the ball now thanks to the camera angle. We have the fog, we have the sound. Let me go ahead and mute this. And I fixed the bug where the crash actually wasn't despawning after breaking. So now it does despawn after 5 seconds. So that way, in case you play, crash, play, crash, play, crash, it doesn't just stay there infinitely. It does actually disappear now. And I made 2 more changes, which I don't know if you could tell while I was playing, but I actually increased the speed in which you move around to make the controls a little bit smoother. So now you can move them around a little bit more smoothly. And the last thing I changed was actually the spawning of the red cubes here. So someone pointed out that they were spawning outside the range, and originally I had that because I was worried about how it looked, and I wanted to make sure the range was in there, so I wasn't really using math. And you can see it still kind of does it, but I actually like this effect where it's kind of half sticking in the wall, so that way if you're rolling down the wall and there's one sticking in, you have to get off the wall or something. Or maybe if you're too close to the wall, it sticks to the edge. So I actually kind of like it sticking to the edge like this, but I did decrease it to where it only spawns inside or on the wall rather than outside the wall. So now it's a lot more condensed, and funnily enough, it actually made the game much more challenging, which I think is a great plus. So this is, with the bugs, this is the tweaks and improvements. So thanks for all the feedback to everyone I got in the comments and on the submission page and everything else. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this. This has been my second game jam, but my first weekly game jam. And I was able to, on day 3, pretty much, or the third day I was working on it, I was able to pretty much tweak it and fine-tune it and make it just a little bit nicer than it was. And hopefully the next game I make will have a couple more features than this one does. This one, I started out small in order to work my way up. So that is what I did, and I think this was a huge success for what I wanted to do. So I think the next jam that I do will to try to make the same amount of progress I did as this one, where I submit it, I'm able to tweak it a little bit, but just have a little bit nicer game than just falling down. I know on this one of the ideas I was thinking about having was adding collectibles to encourage you to move around more. And the collectibles will maybe increase your points or increase your score by 500 points. And yeah, so that would be something cool to add, but I am running a little bit out of time for this one, and I don't want to stay up too late tweaking this any more than this, and I still have to compile it and submit it, and submit the improvements. So yeah, this is what I improved on. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and what you think about this game. Oh no. And like I said, I don't think it's the greatest game, of course, but as for my first weekly game jam submission and my second game jump submission total, what do you guys think about it? And yeah, so don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.